Hello everyone, my name is Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a book tag called the Christmas Cookie Book Tag. I saw Lauren from Laura Loves Literature do this tag, and I thought it sounded like a lot of fun. So let's get into it. Number 1, the chocolate chip cookie. The cookie that's comforting in any season, name an old favorite. So there could be so many for this question. But for this, I chose one that I haven't talked about in a while. And that is Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. So I first read this book in high school. It was for a project, like a year-long project we were doing. I thought it was a lot of fun, the project. It took me a while to get into this book. So this is actually a post-apocalyptic novel. It has to do with, I don't know, I don't think the back describes it very well, but essentially it's following this character named Snowman. And he's trying to navigate the world as he's the last human being. Or he thinks he's the last human being. There's a whole series of books, so it goes into quite a bit of stuff. It goes into some very dark stuff too. And this book is really, really good. So I definitely recommend it. I do believe I gave it a 4 or 5 star when I read it again. And I had a really good time with it. So yeah. Next, we have the biscotti, the cookie that is tough to bite into, but totally worth the effort. A book that was difficult for you to get into, but you're glad you stuck through to the end. So for this, I chose The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. So the thing about this book is that it's not a bad book. It's not bad writing, nothing like that, right? It shows incredibly difficult subject matter. So that's why it was so difficult for me to get into and difficult for me to read, which is kind of obvious because it's a very tough subject matter. So this is following a young girl as she's trying to navigate life in America in 1941. And it follows her going through some very difficult situations with her father and friends and other people that are in her community. So definitely look up some trigger warnings for this because there's some triggering shit in here, not even gonna lie. So definitely a good book. I do believe I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was an incredible read and I'm glad I read it, but I'm not sure if I could reread it again. Number 3, Sugar Cookie, the cookie that comes in all shapes and sizes. Give a diverse recommendation. So for this, I read this for the first time, and Faye was telling me to read it for quite a while, and I was like, okay, I'll get to it. I'm so glad I got to it. Thank you so much, Faye. And that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. So this is a Egyptian folklore type story, and it's absolutely incredible. It's the 18th century Cairo, and it follows Nari, and she is a con woman, and she eventually cons this family, I believe, and she accidentally summons a genie, and then all of a sudden she has to travel across Cairo and Egypt to go to the City of Brass, which is Daevabad, and such a good series, honestly. I have to finish the second one and get into the third one, but so far, so incredible. Loving it so much. Loving the characters. Loving the setting. It's so immersive, right? And I think it was an incredible read. I'm so glad I picked it up, honestly. So that's definitely a good one. Next, we have Peanut Butter Blossoms, the underdog cookie that eventually became a Christmas favorite. Name a character that slowly grew on you. So I don't have the book with me. It's somewhere. And that is written for Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So this character was a bit tough for me to get into to like her because she was purposely a rough and a character that you're not supposed to like up front, I guess, is my point. And she slowly grew in me as she became part of the crew when they're trying to bring down the Overlord. Because in this world, the Overlord won. The bad guy won. And they're trying to figure out how to take back the world from this man that took over. It's absolutely incredible. I've read the first and second book in the series. I believe there's like 6 or 7 in the series now. I definitely do need to get to them. But we'll see the new year. We'll see. Snickerdoodles, the cookie with a name that you can't say without smiling. Name a book that made you smile or laugh. So for this, I chose Ouran High School Host Club by Bisco Hattori. So this series, oh my gosh, it makes me smile so much. It's such a fun, incredible little series that has to do with the main character here, Haruhi. And she accidentally breaks this 80,000 yen vase. Actually, no, I think it's 8 million yen, and then it's $80,000 vase. Yep. And she accidentally breaks it, and they're like, well, how are you going to pay us back? You got no money, because she's a scholarship student, right? In this very prestigious school. And they're like, how are you going to pay us back? And she's like, I don't know. And they're like, the other main character here, Tamaki, he's like, you're going to work for us. Honestly, you got to do this. And there's also this funny plot line where they don't know she's a girl because she dresses without like the uniform, and she cut her hair off because she got gum in it, and it was like a whole thing. And it's a very funny plot line. So definitely a really good series. This is the fun series. It's cute. I've read it a couple times, and I will keep rereading it. It's so good. Next, fruitcake cookies, the cookie that should never have been made into a cookie. Book you could do without. So actually, I was reading this book for a vlog, and I ended up scrapping the vlog because I didn't finish the book. And that is Dune by Frank Herbert. And I feel like I might get some hate for this, and I'm sorry. But I couldn't get into this book. I believe I got 30% of the way through. And there was some, like, concerning shit going on. Like, the weird white savior complex, like coming in and saving everybody, like saving the native population, was a little concerning to me. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. It's a little colonizer-ish, I guess. Yeah. Next, The Gingerbread House. It's more than just a cookie, it's a masterpiece. A book that has the best writing and our world building. So this one's an obvious one. Everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. But that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. So I have read this, and I read the first book in the Lord of the Rings series. I do need to read the rest of the series, obviously. It's like, it's a classic, it's a masterpiece, it's everything, right? But what I liked about this book is that it was more accessible, in my opinion. It was easier to read, but it still had an amazing story to it. So this is following Bilbo Baggins, and he accidentally gets into this adventure that he didn't want to go on by Gandalf the Wizard. And they go on a big adventure with a bunch of dwarfs. And he's not happy about it, but, you know, he's slowly like, okay, this is an adventure, this is kind of cool, okay, I can get into this. And a lot of crazy stuff happens. I do have a review of this book on my channel, actually. I will link it, like, up here or down below. And, yeah, incredible series, loved it. I think I'll reread it soon. It's so good. Moving on. Cookies baked especially for Santa. Share a book you plan on reading this holiday season. So this one's kind of a cheat because I'm already reading it. So I'm definitely going to be reading it this season. And that is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. So I talked about the Hunger Games in one of my videos. I don't remember which one now. But I love this series. It is so good. There's nothing like the Hunger Games out there. Or at least not that I know of. And the Hunger Games follows Katniss Everdeen as she goes in place of her sister to the Hunger Games, which is this competition where a bunch of kids kill each other. And It's a little bit more intense than that. I mean, obviously that's intense right there, like kids killing each other. It's people under the age of 16. So, that's disturbing. And I have to keep reminding myself that the main character, even though they act in a way that a 16-year-old wouldn't act, she is 16 in this novel and in Catching Fire and Mockingjay. They're just kids, man. They're just doing their best. So, yeah. I gave The Hunger Games 5 stars, so I think this will be another 5 stars as well. I know Catching Fire is a lot of people's favorite book in the series, so we'll see. Next is a couple questions that have to do with like recipes, so let's get into that. Cookie swap. What's your favorite holiday cookie? So mine is like totally basic, but I absolutely love shortbread. And I make a mean shortbread. I make a really good shortbread. So I only use 3 ingredients, which is just butter, sugar, and flour. And like as long as you have the proportions correct, it makes the best cookies ever. So I will link that down below, the recipe. And lastly, a glass of milk to wash it all down. What's your favorite holiday drink? So I don't really have a favorite holiday drink. Like I'm not a big fan of eggnog or alcohol or anything. So I think my favorite thing would be just like coffee or tea, something like that, which I drink pretty often anyway. So that's not very special, I guess. Okay. So, if anyone else would love to do this tag, please let me know. I would love to watch your video. I know Laura Loves Literature did this. So let me know down below also. Is there any of these questions that you want to answer? Let me choose a random one. Give me a diverse recommendation. Something that is outside of the typical publishing type deal. Set in somewhere that's not North America or a person of color. Something like that. Okay? And I think that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.